Hi guys, my name is Sean Bouchard. Welcome to a special surprise bonus play-by-play. I am just kind of, I had an hour to kill, and I should be grading or folding laundry or doing something productive. But you know, I was reminded by the internet that today is the fake holiday that BioWare made up. It's November 7th and 7 Day. And so I've been thinking about Mass Effect like literally all day long. And so I you know, installed Mass Effect. And then I was like, I want to play Mass Effect. So now I'm going to play Mass Effect. I've only got like an hour ish. So this is, I don't know what this is going to be. Like the first hour of a 20-hour RPG is going to be a lot of cutscenes and like tutorial, and then like maybe I'll just talk because that's what I like to do. Hey Shiro, baby, get down off the desk, please. You are not going to listen to me at all. Yeah, but like let's do this. Seriously, Kat, you're right. You're messing with my light. Baby, come here. Come here. Come in. Down. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Start new career.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
So, John Shepard, really? No. There's an interesting, like, you know, narrative framing for the whole character creation of this, which I'm sure this is not the first game to do, but I feel like it's become a little bit more common. It's certainly something that, like, okay, I'm just gonna keep comparing Mass Effect with Dragon Age because that's such a fascinating comparison to make. Same company, approximately the same time frame, both major series, both popular. You can look at the way that they arc from game to game, and you can also look at sort of the individual games. Both basically the same kind of game, basically like big narrative heavy RPGs. They use the same basic mechanics, aside from, you know, the combat style and lots of little details, and looking at those little details to see how they change the overall experience of the game is just like super fucking fascinating. There's a great talk on objective versus subjective storytelling by one of the designers at BioWare who gave it at GDC a few years ago that I love to cite. So I'm in like one of those things.
Please log in to access your profile.
But one of those things is like the way that they treat the introduction to the experience, and in Dragon Age there's this sort of like, it's partly a distancing, absolutely, and partly a sort of like oh God, I don't know what to call it. Like there's a connection between the game and the player, where the game is sort of saying, you know, we're in this together, we're doing this together. Who's the character that you want to create? Whereas Mass Effect is just a little bit different about it. It's like you are already playing the game. Here's the game. You don't have a character yet. You don't have like you're not embodied. I don't know who the fuck I'm supposed to be accessing this database, but I'm already inside the world. Jane is fine. I'm just like, I'm really gonna accept defaults. I don't know why I said custom. I get this, except that when you do custom, you get this cool thing where it like data corruption, right? So again, like within the world, there's a narrative justification for the fact that we are like making this character.
Confirm free service history.
Oh, and I do kind of want to do this. This is why I cared. Orphan raised on the streets of great metropolis. Colonists, you were born and raised in Mindwar, a small border colony in the Atkins Traverse. Slaughtering family and friends. Both your parents were in the Alliance military. Definitely
Confirm
fucking
psychological profile.
Sole survivor. Trapped in extreme survival. I just want to point out, like, it's actually interesting. 2 out of 3 of these, you are an orphan. But there's one where you're not. There's one that doesn't play into the sort of traditionalist RPG, sociopathic orphan
Confirm
archetype.
Psychological profile.
So of course I'm going to choose that. Soul survivor, war hero, overwhelming military force, risk your own life to help. Blah, 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 blah. Bravery and heroism. I like bravery and heroism.
Military specialization.
Okay, and then I always go cross class. Biotic warriors. Biotic tech. Tech and military. I don't know. Tech. More efficient at tech and biotics than other classes, expensive combat, light armor, no advanced weapon training. I don't remember what weapons advanced weapon training gets me access to. I'm gonna go with this though, because I like magic powers.
Profile reconstruction complete.
I love that this game gives me the ability to change what the character looks like. But I am almost always just gonna like leave it at a default. If it gives me several choices for like pre-constructed characters, I might choose between them. But I have been known to spend a lot of time like fiddling with the character customizer, but I don't do it a lot. And these days I tend to do it less. Yes, subtitles. Yes, autosave. Use your fucking powers. Target assist normal. Combat difficulty normal. That all sounds good to me. Also, well, Shepard's mom is a total badass. That's true.
She's a spacer, lived aboard starships most of her life.
Military service runs in the family. Both her parents were in the Navy.
She proved herself during the Blitz. Held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero. And Shepard's the best we've got.
The best they've fucking got.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. Decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies enabling travel to further stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They called it the greatest discovery of human history. The civilizations of the galaxy called it Mass Effect. Alright, so that opening sequence, aside from being epic, like it's a good start to the game.
Arcturus Prime
All of
relays
this
in
is
range.
kind
Initiating transmission sequence.
Oh god, it's all cutscenes. I can't talk over cutscenes. We're just gonna enjoy this. We're just gonna enjoy this until I get control.
Transit mass and destination.
And then I'm just gonna talk instead of playing the game.
The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit.
Joker, man.
Board is green. Approach run has begun.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1,500K.
1,500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
Nihilus.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the
Joker is
official
so
story.
good.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell
Joker.
Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the Captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
Alright. Sweet. I don't know what my buttons are, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so the opening segment where they're talking about Commander Shepard, in my mind, is doing... Oh, there it tells me. I wonder if it told me because I didn't press any of those buttons. That's fucking fantastic. I love that. There's sort of three things that's there to accomplish, like aside from just being a good narrative opening to the game, and setting up like the title shot and this whole, all of this stuff is really good. If I blew through character creation and didn't pay attention to anything that I chose, then it's there to remind me, like to tell me again, to remind me of like what the options that I picked were. That's one thing. There are probably two other things that it does. Fuck this game. Alright, whatever. We're just gonna keep going. And normally, I would probably play pretty exhaustively.
Waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
Like, with lots of looking around, because that gets me experience points, and I get to talk to people, but I'm gonna rush through just a little bit.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
Bye, Kelso. More information,
please. Brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Oh, that's right. I have a tactical combat thing. How do I... Is that not a door? Maybe that's not a door.
Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do
Oh, here we go. Or maybe it's a door that I can open later.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to. Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
I've never been there.
But you know of it. It's become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it, really?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's
Oh
why
my
we
god,
needed the
don't even
stealth
talk
systems
about
operational.
KOTOR. So I'm just to let you guys know, I don't know that I'll never come back and play more of this because I love these games. I mean, I'd love to keep playing them, and if it's convenient for me to stream it, then I totally will. But it would take forever, like literally all of time, to play through the Mass Effect games on play-by-play. So I'm not planning to do that. This is probably just going to be like, I'm gonna play this for an hour for N7 Day, and we can talk about it. And then I don't know that we'll do a Q&A today, but if you have questions or stuff that you want to talk about Mass Effect, totally game for the next like regular play-by-play Q&A.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Oh god, okay, alright. I'm still playing Ori. I'll be going back to playing Ori on Thursday. So one of the things that's fascinating to me about BioWare games in general, I'm gonna stop here and talk for a while. Jesus. One of the things that's really interesting to me about BioWare games, because I love them so much that I play them more than once, I noticed this pattern where I'm really not that interested in changing what I do from play to play. And it's important to me that there's a large possibility space. Like the fact that there are dialogue options that have significant impact on the world, that I really care about that. But I actually am not interested in like going through and exploring the different narrative spaces and like, you know, what would it be like if I played as Renegade? Like I don't do that when I play the game. Part of it honestly is because it's such a marathon, right? Like a 20-hour game is different than a 2-hour game. 2-hour game I could totally see like sitting down for 2 hours, like having 2 hours and playing through on like a way that feels unnatural in order to see what happens. But when I sit down for Mass Effect, or even more than that for Dragon Age, because those are even bigger games, I very quickly, even if I start out with the intention of like playing a character who's different, or who would make, it's not that, yeah, well, Dragon Age, there's a lot more in your origin story that you can choose, and so I will play through with different origin stories. But I don't make significantly different choices because I feel comfortable with the choices that I make the first time, and that's, I don't know, I get like an enjoyment out of playing that character and like going through, and so there's this really interesting thing where it highlights the difference between a player's sense of agency and the actual control that they exert over the narrative, which are really two different things. Mass Effect gives me a huge sense of agency even when I elect not to have a lot of control over the narrative, even when I treat the narrative as though it were linear, more or less, and I always choose the same options. Contrast this with Beyond Two Souls is a great example of a game that actually has a lot of player control over the narrative, but it doesn't have a lot of sense of agency. You don't realize the extent to which you are changing the world. It doesn't feel like you have power to change the world, and that is an extremely different experience than this game, where for me, I feel like I have the power to change the world even if I don't, which is, I mean, that's just like you think of those two things as being very, very close together. And in a lot of games, I think they are, but they don't have to be. And games that sort of exploit the difference between them, I find that really interesting. We'll keep talking about this, I guess, because this isn't a great example, but BioWare was definitely innovative in this game in creating this style of dialogue option with the choice circle. And they're really, really smart about it. They've given talks about how this is set up, but you will notice that on the right hand, these three options are always options that progress the conversation. And on the left, these three options are always options that inquire for more information. So even here, where both of these are questions, I mean, you think of the questions going on the left, but the question on the left, Prothean, that's a request for additional information about something that was just said. Whereas the question on the right is, let's move forward. Tell me what the details are. Let's get to the next thing. Which I'm going to do, like...
This is big.
Because I don't know how many people
like
have played this game or know this story.
Years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
So I don't know. I might ask for background information in some places because I just can't help but choose the same options every time. But even if I sort of burn through the conversations, they explain enough. They just don't go into all of the backstory and lore in the world, which is pretty cool. Like, I like the Mass Effect universe. So the other thing that they do is the Mass Effect has this concept of Paragon and Renegade, which is a huge upgrade from the mechanic, the sort of, parallel system that was in their first game. I think Knights was their first game, Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know. Oh, no. Sorry, BioWare did a bunch of stuff before that. But Knights of the Old Republic is maybe the first game in this style. That's probably not even fair to say. It was a breakout game for them, though, and it sort of led to Mass Effect. It also led to Jade Empire, which was not quite as good. It's still a good game. Anyway, the system that they had in Knights of the Old Republic was a light side, dark side system. And the light side, dark side system is super fascinating. Because, like you might expect, the more sort of morally good choices you make, as you play, at least, after the first third of the game, you are a Force user, and ostensibly a Jedi, but you're kind of like freewheeling enough. You get to make a lot of your own decisions, and it's very easy for you to sort of either go Jedi or Sith, light side or dark side. And that was a big hook for the game. The more morally good choices you make, the further along the light side of that spectrum you go. And then when you make morally bad decisions, or take morally bad actions, you move towards the dark side end of the spectrum from your current position. So you're always a point on this spectrum sliding back and forth. The further you are towards one of the two extremes, the more powerful you are in a certain set of powers. So you have like light side powers and dark side powers, and anybody can use any of them. But if you're strong with the light side, then when you use light side powers, you use them especially well. And I think it actually manifests as they cost less to use. Whereas when you use dark side powers, they cost more to use. So when you're picking which powers you want, you're going to tend to specialize in the set that you are good at casting. This creates this amazing reinforcement effect where if you start out the game and you start to shift towards the light side, then you will tend to choose powers that are light side powers, and that encourages you to go even further to the light side, because the further you go to the light side, the cheaper those powers become to actually use, the more effective they are. And then you will choose more and more light side powers, and you don't choose any of the dark side powers. And so then if you ever wanted to make a different decision, if you ever decided, you know what, I'm tired of the light side, I'm going to go rogue, I want to go dark side, there's a huge disincentive to doing that, because first of all, you have to it's a lot of work to get from over on the light side all the way back over to the dark side. But even if you do that, all of the powers that you have, the ones that you've chosen that are all light side powers because that's what you were good at, all of a sudden now you're bad at those, and the powers that you would be good at you don't have. And so there's like, once you choose a side, the game strongly encourages you to keep going on that side. Mass Effect is sort of BioWare saying, okay, that was an interesting system, but in practice it doesn't allow for a lot of flexibility. It does allow for like one of the most amazing moments in my gaming life, which I will talk about later, but not right now because I'm playing Mass Effect. Mass Effect has a Paragon meter and a Renegade meter, and they are independent of one another, and every morally good choice that you make fills your Paragon meter, and every morally bad choice you make fills your Renegade meter, but you never lose those points. They're essentially reputation. So people will know you by the good things that you've done and the bad things that you've done. And you can fill both of them. You can, if you do a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, you can like get points in both of them. You don't like backslide from doing one versus the other. I'm not going to talk more about like how that ties into the rest of the system, but I am going to talk about their dialogue system, which is where I started. So I said that over on the left, these are background questions. These are requests for more information that don't progress the story forward. On the right, these are 3 options that do progress the story forward, and they are ordered morally good, morally neutral, and morally bad. Paragon and Renegade, and an option that will tend to be neither. So you learn this pattern as you're playing the game. Like there's a directionality to the personality of the character that you're playing, and for me it tends to be top right. I will like naturally move, you know, my joystick or my mouse to the top right of a conversation, even if I'm like reading through what the conversation options are. That's where I'm going to tend to go, and that gets sort of like mentally mapped for me as the personality of my character. It's fascinating how that works.
It never hurts to have a few extra hands on board.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Since when do we answer to the Spectres?
Yeah.
You're smart enough to know how things work, Commander. The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
So I one of the things that I really like about the way that this dialogue is written and the way that it's paced is I have lots of dialogue options. I have lots of opportunities to choose these Paragon and Renegade options. And so I don't, even though I am a Paragon character and I know that about myself, and I consistently choose Paragon choices, I don't actually have to choose every Paragon choice in the dialogue. I can feel like I have a little bit of my own personality by deciding when I choose different types of things. And so, you know, I can be a little bit of, say, a humanist, where I you know, I'm Paragon most of the time, but I push back against this idea of the Turians having some say in what we're doing, or like we don't answer to to the Spectres, and that kind of stuff. Like that's cool that like there's enough play in the dialogue choices that I feel like I can actually have a sense of a different character. I have a subjective sense of a granularity of character that is much, much finer than is actually written into the dialogue, right? Does that make sense? I can, you know, I can sort of define what the character is
I assume
based on
this
like
is good for the Alliance.
the mix of choices that I make, rather than on like
I need to see your skills for
specific
myself,
character
Commander.
personality type
Eden
that
Prime
is
will be the first of
pre-written.
several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
All right,
Just
I'm
give the
ready
word,
to go.
Captain.
Let's do it.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't... Need evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5.
It's amazing to me that he could pick out
Status
the
report.
frame
17 minutes out,
by
Captain.
number
No other Alliance ships in the area.
38.5 that he wanted
Take
to
us in,
see.
Joker,
Like
fast
that's
and quiet.
pretty impressive.
This mission
That's how
just got
you
a
get
lot
to
more
be
complicated.
A small
commander
strike team
or whatever
can
he
move
is.
quickly without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Okay, so we're probably gonna. There's a tutorial or something.
Engaging stealth systems.
Did you say 38.05?
Somebody
That's
was
even
doing
better.
Some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander.
Oh god.
Go in heavy and head straight for the dig
500ths of a
site.
second.
What about
after
survivors,
38.
Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Fucking Nihilus.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck.
We are approaching drop point 2.
Oh god. All right. So just a couple things that came up in the chat. One is the question of whether or not this game disincentivizes the neutral option, where it often gives you 3 dialogue responses. One of them is Paragon, one of them is Renegade, and one of them is neutral. Since you get points for Paragon and Renegade, are you disincentivized from choosing the neutral option? Yes, absolutely. That said, every dialogue choice is a very small event, like in terms of how much it contributes to your Paragon and Renegade stats, and specific dialogue choices often don't contribute anything. So it's not. It comes into that role play. I've talked about role playing, right? Fuck. Okay, so role playing. My definition of role playing is the extent to which a game permits or not incentivizes, but encourages you to play in a suboptimal way. So for me, looking at these dialogue choices, if I was going to optimize this character, then I would absolutely never choose a neutral option, and I would probably pick either Paragon or Renegade, because there's still benefits to getting high on one versus getting sort of like keeping them even. So I would choose one. I would always pick that dialogue option, even when it didn't seem like it mattered, because then I'm safe, and I'm like, that's the min-max sort of way. For me, there's a sense of role play in my ability to choose suboptimal choices and have the game not punish me severely for it. So I will choose neutral options when I feel like I am expressing something important about my character and her neutrality, or whatever it is, by choosing that specific option. But yes, absolutely. When you look at the incentive structure for the game, like unlike Knights of the Old Republic had a very specific incentive structure that was about picking a side and sticking to it. And it had this weird moment at the end where it was like, hey, now is the moment when you could change sides. And it was, I don't know anybody who did, because so much of the game was structured around disincentivizing you from doing that. It just seems like a bad move. So that game had a very specific incentive structure. This game also has one. It is less extreme, right? Like it incentivizes me to choose to not be a passive character, to not be neutral. It incentivizes me to either be aggressively good or rebellious in every moment, as well as sort of overall. But it doesn't enforce that in quite as strict a way. There was also, I think Chase was asking if you should buy, he or she, sorry, should buy the Mass Effect trilogy. This is, I picked up actually, because I had half of it on Steam and half of it on Origin. I picked up the Mass Effect trilogy on Origin for $30 today. It's got a bunch of the DLC in it. It's, you know, about 80 hours long, and it's some of the best games that I've ever played. That said, it's not going to be for everybody, but if you liked KOTOR, then definitely 100% pick that up. Oh, okay. God, I didn't want to do this, but do you think there's a disconnect or break-in immersion created by the Renegade Paragon metagame? No, that's what's sort of amazing about these games. Like, there can be, you can metagame it, but you don't have to. And especially for, you know, Knights of the Old Republic, like, that was not about, oh, hey, you know, I want to optimize my character, so I'm going to go all light side. That was about sort of finding yourself in a place where, oh, Jesus, if I could go dark side now, like, I could make these bad decisions. Or, actually, I mean, for me, it was trying to play through dark side and getting towards the end where the dark side choices are conceptually brutal. Like, the game makes you do really terrible things. And you could not do them. Like, it offers you the choice over and over and over again. Hey, do you maybe want to not murder this kid? And you could do that, but you know that if you do that, it's gonna take away some of your power. And like, it's a beautiful Star Wars game, because when you get into that position, you are now all of a sudden valuing your own personal power versus the choices that you make that affect other people. And like, that's exactly what you want out of a Star Wars game. So it's fucking great. But you get that effect even if you're not thinking about it in a really meta-gamey way. Even if you're just in the game, those incentive structures, they're not about like they're not just about min-maxing. Natural play is going to trend toward an optimized strategy, right? Like, even if I am not a high strat min-max player, like, I'm going to tend to do the stuff that's going to make the game easier for me. And so if you align your incentive structure with some kind of rhetorical argument, right? Procedural rhetoric. This is all procedural rhetoric. If you align your incentive structure with some kind of an argument, some kind of a perspective, some kind of an idea, then people are going to tend to play in that direction, even if they're not fully conscious of it. Okay. Now I'm like actually playing the game. I guess I was sort of playing the game on the ship, but now I have a gun.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Got it.
And it's gonna give me these like little non-enemy things that I can practice shooting on. Right? And they don't attack me. They're not even like real sorts of things. But I can maybe, do I have any powers? I have a throw and a sabotage. Damn. Check that shit out. Okay. Q to holster my weapon. I did that instinctively because I've played so much of this game. And I'm gonna instinctively run over here because I know there's like good shit over here. Oh, God. Armor plating. Just take it. I will just take it because I'm only playing an hour of this. So I love this series. I recommend that everybody try this series out. I know that it is not for everyone, and if you hate it, then I don't blame you. But I love it, and I say that despite the fact that there are some like serious issues with it. In Mass Effect 1, that is the Mako and the inventory system. And people hate the elevators, but the elevators are just loading screens. It's poorly done, but if you recognize them as for what they are, then they don't bother me that much. But the Mako is a huge pain in the ass, and the inventory system is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Oh no, Jenkins! Character that like we never even really knew who you were. Oh, that's how I aim, right? Okay. We're gonna do that shit. And I gained a level. Okay, so now I have talent points. Look, I have a little bit of Paragon and no Renegade, because I've done just like a little bit of Paragon and no Renegade. How many talent points do I have? Oh, 6. I have 6 talent points. I can upgrade my throw in Newtons. I can do first aid. That's handy. I can also upgrade my talking, which I 100% will do. And I'm just gonna open up all of the powers that I can, and then I'll worry about upgrading them later. And then Caden, Caden doesn't have shit. Okay. So poor Jenkins,
Perimeter clear.
Jenkins, who I literally forgot was even in our party, because he gets like 0 narrative weight, which is kind of a shame. Like, this is not a huge moment because I freaking I don't even know who he is.
The rest of us just have to carry on.
But it does give me a moment to like express my leadership and to choose how I want to express my leadership. And there, I probably could have gotten Paragon points. I probably could have gotten some kind of points if I had picked one of the non-neutral options. But I like, it doesn't feel appropriate to me to give him a burial in the middle of this mission. Like, we're on a mission, dude. Like, that's not right. And then at the same time, guy did just die. Like, okay, how does this work? Barrier, absorb damage. Let's do that. And then, do I have these guns?
Shields down.
I don't. Fuck. Oh, no, I didn't want to use Medigel. Damn it.
I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, maybe I did. Is that what first aid? Yeah, I got first aid so that I could do that. Probably shouldn't have done it then. I did it just because it told me to. That was stupid. This game has a really interesting combat system that I like a lot, but I think a lot of people didn't, where you have unlimited ammo. You don't need to reload your gun, but there's an overheating feature. So if you fire too quickly for too long, your gun will overheat and you can't use it. So you have to sort of pace your shots, but you have to do it deliberately, and you don't have to do it consistently. You can sort of fire slow and steady and keep your gun cool, and then fire off like several quick rounds as fast as you can, and your gun will get hot, but if it's been cool, then it won't overheat. I really like that system, and they kind of stepped back from it in the later games because I think people didn't love it. But I thought it was an interesting, like, different way to think about how gun combat could work, like what the system could be. Oh, now it will let me change my weapon.
Perimeter clear.
Can I not? Do I not get a zoom with the sniper rifle? What's going on? This is the shotgun. Why is my zoom not working? Weird. Weird. Super fucking weird. If I go back to the pistol, can I zoom? Is it? Yeah, I mustn't. Maybe I need to upgrade the weapon? Dunno. I feel like... Oh, that's a... Ooh, what did I just do? I guess I haven't really used mines or grenades. I hit the R button because I'm used to hitting R in between combat sessions to reload in other games, but obviously I don't need to do that. Yeah, Caden's pretty bad at telling when the perimeter's clear. All right. This is our introduction to the Geth. The Geth seem like bad news. I just want to look real quick at my blah blah blah. Do I have... Yeah, I don't, there's no options here. Like, the options may expand later on. And maybe it's because I didn't choose a combat-based class. But it seems weird to me that I could equip a sniper rifle and not be able to zoom in on it. Like, what is up with that? All right. Yeah. I use this all the time. All right, we got two Geth.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Interesting to sort of look at. Well, I'll talk to her first. Let's talk to her first.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns. Nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
KOTOR 2 is worth playing from the chat, asking if KOTOR 2 is any good. KOTOR 2 is worth playing if you are interested at all in the in thinking about games from a like analytical perspective. Like if you are watching me play this and talk like 3 times as much as I actually play the game, then you would probably, it'd be worth playing through KOTOR 2. Also, I believe there are fan mods of KOTOR 2 that, like, I don't know that they fix everything, but they restore some of the content. And again, like, KOTOR 2 is an interesting exploration of really, really good things and sort of mistakes that can happen in development, and the way that things can go wrong. It's, you know, it's a KOTOR game at the beginning, and then it sort of falls apart at the end because they ran out of money. We're just gonna plow forward.
Enemy we're facing?
I think they're Geth.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
Move out!
Oh, maybe? Who is this? This is Jane? I mean, maybe the problem is that I don't have a proper sniper rifle. Well, I do. I have an Avenger 1. Reliable and efficient Earth-based Han Cater has become a major supplier in the system's alliance military. Their weapons are considered stock quality at best, although their armor lines, blah, blah, blah. Sniper rifles, limited rate of fire and virtually useless at close range. They have high accuracy. They don't have high accuracy unless they've got a scope. So, I don't know what to tell you, game. Like, you gotta give me a fucking scope.
The beacon's at the far end of
I can do jack shit with this. There is... I enabled autosave, but I don't know how much that does. Wait, did I pick up... There was, when I... Yeah, there was a crate. Run to the waypoint to take cover behind the rock. Fine. Doesn't matter. Bullshit, I don't understand. I don't know why I'm limited to using... Oh yeah, there is a cover system, I forgot. Oh yeah, you guys just start shooting. That's probably a good idea. God damn it. Okay, crouch is a toggle. It's good to know. I'm in a firefight? You have equipped an untrained weapon, which reduces damage and accuracy. Press and hold spacebar. Okay. Fuck. Is that because I'm not combat? Alright, at this point I would stop and go back and restart the game. And choose probably the I forget what they're called, but the tech melee or tech combat hybrid, because I love me my sniper rifle. My love of the sniper rifle comes largely from preferring to play a support character, because I'm not great at shooting, and so I don't want to I don't want that to be my role, to be the guy who's supposed to kill everything. I would rather have a tank, have Caden play tank, even though that's not supposed to be his role. Have Ashley play tank, and snipe off people occasionally and do support shit, because that's more fun to me. Okay, now I know to save here because the combat has been super easy so far, but if I remember correctly, this next part is where I die over and over and over again.
The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who?
There's a weird difficulty spike right here.
Maybe we'll know more after we check.
Maybe it's not right here. Maybe I'm forgetting.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Fuck, alright. Well, so I'm only playing for 5 more minutes, but if I play Mass Effect again, I will go through up to this point as an infiltrator first, and then play from there. Was that F6's quick save? Quick save is F6. Which way am I going? My map seems to indicate this way. Oh no, I don't think it's this part that kills me. I think it's further on. There is a weird difficulty spike though at some point. No, shit, I'm going backwards. That's north. It's pointing out north, not go this way. God damn it, Sean. This is why modern games have, big blue arrows that point where you're supposed to go. Because people like me do this every fucking time. Alright, let's go up this way. Yeah, this does look like where the difficulty spikes. I think, if I remember that correctly.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard.
Right? Good place for an ambush. They warn you, hey, thanks for playing the tutorial combat.
Oh god.
Now we're gonna difficulty spike.
What did the Geth do to them?
Press R to throw a grenade. Huh. It really totally tells you how to do that. I pressed R again. It did not do anything. Weird. Alright. You do that, and then this is not the part that I was thinking of as the difficulty spike.
Think we got him, Commander.
Now we know what those spikes are for. Turning our own dead.
It used to be beautiful here.
Used to be beautiful here. Hey, look, it's an obvious
that door
place
closed.
To go.
Security lock's engaged.
Use the movement keys WASD to advance to the central core. Avoid security programs. I forget what this minigame looks like. I don't have to pay Omnigel to do this? Oh shit. Oh, I remember this now. Or I could spend Omnigel. So I think I get one shot at doing it
Humans.
through the minigame.
Hurry, close the door.
And if I screw it up,
don't worry.
Then I have to pay Omnigel to do
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now.
Which is, I don't think that's a bad system. I don't
You're
hate
Dr.
minigames.
Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
Okay. There's a big difference between the security game in Mass Effect or the hacking game in BioShock and Pazak. Pazak is like a totally different beast. Age of Humanity is ended, huh? Has Nihilus been around here?
In the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack. That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction
All right,
rushing towards us?
dialogue.
To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
I don't... Whatever,
Williams,
he's fine.
take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go
Did
lie
you
down.
see that though? That was
You'll feel better once the
an
medication
option
kicks
on the
in.
lower left, right? So it's not necessary for, it won't move the conversation forward to punch him in the face, but it is decidedly a renegade action. Like, it's neat how much queuing they can do just with that positioning. I feel like there's more shit that I could do there, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, and then there's... God damn it. Did I get that? No. There's a... Yeah. There's a weird registration thing. Oh, fuck. Look at that sniper rifle that I could have and use if only I had chosen the correct class. Regret. I'm filled with regret.
Saren. Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
Saren's such a nice
I
guy.
wasn't
He's gonna
expecting
help.
to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Gunshot. Jesus, I love that. I mean, like, there are some really, really great narrative moments in this game. Okay, that's about all that I can do. So I'm gonna go. This has been super fun. I have, like, super enjoyed this. Yeah, I mean, I love this game, so maybe I'll come back to it some other time. Maybe I will just play more of it sometime in the middle of the night when I am pretending to do work. But I am sad that I chose the wrong class. I'm sad that it wasn't made clear to me that I would not be able to effectively use sniper rifles if I chose that class. That's too bad. Thanks, guys. This was a blast. I will be back on Thursday playing Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm not quite to the end of that game yet, but I'm starting to get closer. I'm more than halfway through, so we'll keep playing that for a while and then figure out what comes next. happy N7 day. Hope everybody is enjoying it as much as I am. And thanks for coming and hanging out with me at Zero Notice, because this was fun. All right, have a great day. No, not that button.